Recruiter here, the headless headhunter, getting you ahead of your job search by reviewing your resumes. The resume we have up first, I don't know. They did not tell me. When you submit a resume to me, please tell me more information. All they said is it takes them over 150 applications to get a job, and to blur their name, I don't blur names, I just don't scroll down to that page. They also fully dox themselves, and they didn't tell me what they do. So I don't know what kind of software engineer this person is. Are they front end? Are they back end Java, back end Python, back end C, whatever, or .NET? I don't know. You didn't tell me. You have to tell me. If you do not tell me, I cannot help you. And please stop doxing yourselves. It makes it harder for me to review your resume if I can't scroll down. So, anyway, I didn't mean to do this and I didn't find it. So I'm assuming, since I saw like one thing of Python, this is a Python developer, a back-end Python developer. I don't even know if that's correct. I just know that they're not getting any jobs or interviews. So, if this was for a back-end Python role, which again, I don't even know, it would be Python, SQL, Docker, Cloud, and any of its words. So could be AWS and EC2, or the equivalent for that at GCP and Azure. RESTful APIs, Agile, Git, CI/CD, and then one of the following. You don't need all of them, like full stack or AI or DevOps. And bonus for Kubernetes, ETL, MongoDB, and Java. So could not find that in 20 seconds. Let's see what this is. So the problem is you start off by saying implemented a list endpoint with DynamoDB and what? Pagination? Optimizing data access patterns to support 100K daily reads with low latency retrieval. That's not what we're asking for. I don't think I've ever seen a job description for any engineer say, hey, you know what we need? We really do need somebody to optimize data access patterns for daily reads with low latency retrieval. DynamoDB could be. I've seen that in places, but you focus so much on it. I don't know why you're doing that, because like this is what we'd be looking for Python backend. Assuming that architected, good. Actually, that's a good word. I like the word architected. Managers love it. And implemented a durable event delivery system by integrating the blah, 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 blah. Nothing is what I'm looking for. I have to go all the way down here until I see APIs, yet alone AWS, which is good. Lambda, maybe. And then nothing else. This has two things I need. And that's it. It has AWS. Actually, three things. APIs, AWS, and CI/CD pipelines. And my dog is barking. That's all it has. That's it. This is why you're having trouble, is they can't find what they need in here. This is what they're looking for. They're not looking for integrated automation, reducing manual intervention by 80%, improving deployment speed by 50%. Nobody's looking for that. And even if they are, they're not going to state that in the job description. A job description is not going to state you need to enhance system reliability by 20% or we don't want to see you. So your biggest issue with this is not the formatting. The formatting is a little off, but it's not a huge deal. The biggest issue is it has nothing we'd want. Your resume is nearly blank to a recruiter. I don't need this. I don't even see any Python, which I don't even know if you are a Python dev. I am assuming because you have Python and R all the way down here, which I did not get to in the time I had, and Docker, that you maybe are a Python dev. Plus your education is all the way at the bottom. That should be up at the top. But yeah, you just don't have anything I need, right? Like you're assuming, and spoiler alert, the rest of the resumes for this are all software engineers. I do other reviews besides software engineers, but this entire one is software engineers because I have like 5 of them in a row. So spoiler alert, when they're hiring software engineers, they're not looking to see how good you are. I know that sounds insane. That's not what the resume is for, right? Like, you can't prove you're good through a resume. And this is what happens when you try to prove you're good through a resume. Does spearheading a groundbreaking live bias detection system for interviews achieving 85% accuracy in transcript generation, using GCP and 80% accuracy in detecting bias using bidirectional LS10 model VM model mean you're super good? Yeah, probably, but I can't hire you based on it. That's not how that works. I need this stuff. These are the qualifications. This isn't, except for the stuff that I said I actually did need. So there's really nothing I can do with this because I just don't see what I need. You fill your resume with junk, and I don't need that. I need the basics, the boring, the simple. Again, to use a food metaphor, if I order a hamburger and you give me a hamburger with a bucket of ketchup on it, cool. I'm not gonna enjoy that hamburger. And in this case, that's what's happening here, is you dumped a gallon of ketchup and mustard on a hamburger when all they wanted was the hamburger, which is this stuff. So that's all I can do for this one. But if anybody notices, obviously I am in a slightly different environment. I am staying with my mother-in-law for the next 2 weeks. My wife's mother. I don't know why I can never get genealogy right. Anyway, I actually am in my mother-in-law's basements for 2 weeks. So you can, in fact, make fun of me for that. But after that, I'll be back to my normal room when I'm back home in Los Angeles. So, but if you ever need more help, you can always drop by my live stream at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. That is where I help people out beyond just resumes, like interview tips and a little more in-depth stuff. It's every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. PST. Like, comment, subscribe, and let's go to the next software engineer. This is a resume of another software engineer that didn't tell me what they are. Can I find out what they are in 20 seconds? Let's find out. So, let's see. Node.js? Nope. I could not find it in this. I sped read it. Could not find it. I don't know what you are. So first off, pick a stack. Please do. Full stack, front end, back end, and if it's back end, pick Python, Java, or I don't know, Ruby on Rails or C or whatever. As long as I know what type of engineer you are, I can actually find it. Because Node.js is not it. Like, is Node.js good? Yes, I do want to see Node.js, but that is not enough. I need to typically see, like, full stack. Like, as an example, a resume that I would like to see Node.js in is this one, right? This, boom. This would be full stack. Are you a full stack software engineer? I have no idea. But this is where I would want to see Node.js in. So what you stated to me is I am based in Egypt and I'm primarily targeting remote on-site roles in the Europe, Canada, Ireland, Australia, anywhere outside, but I'm also applying to all roles I face. So not counting the resume, I want to let you know you can't work outside, at least in the US, I cannot speak for other places. You can't work outside your country without a visa. There is a reason that every US job says, are you legally authorized to work in the country? And if you answer no to that, you are not going to get hired. It doesn't matter how good your resume is. In addition, if you lie about that, they will do a check before they hire you to make sure you did not lie about that. So it may not matter how good your resume is if you don't have the right work authorization. Now, do you actually have the right work authorization? Maybe you're a citizen or you have it. You could, but I meet a lot of people that from other countries just mass apply to U.S. roles, and it doesn't matter your resume. If you're not authorized to legally work in the country, you can't work in the country at all. That's like the company that would hire you would get massively sued. So it doesn't matter. Like I want you to be aware that before you apply outside, you need to make sure that you are legally authorized to work in that country. Again, maybe it's different in Europe and Canada and Ireland and Australia, but at least in the United States, that's how it is. So, but now we can get to the actual resume. So first off, your resume has nothing in it I want. The problem with this is this resume might as well be blank, right? There's literally nothing here I could use besides Node.js. Because if I'm looking for full stack, which again, I don't even know if this is, I need TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. This tells me nothing. I don't need WAF filter. I don't need wall. I'm not going to pronounce that. I'm gonna fail completely. I don't need simmed. I don't need 3.5 speed up of buffers. I don't need wall. You made the critical mistake that a lot of software engineer developers make is you are assuming that your resume needs to show how talented you are, and that's not the case. The point of the resume is to show that you meet the bare minimum qualifications of the role. That's it. The worst resumes I have seen in my life are good and talented graphic designers and marketers. And what you're doing here is you're trying to show me how good and amazing and perfect you are, but that doesn't matter because I don't find SQL. Again, can't use it in there. Has to be under a job. So, again, the job was PostSQL? What is that in PostgreSQL? There it is. Okay. So, I can't find... You know what? I should not have used SQL. I should have used a better one. I can't see full stack. So, let's do TypeScript. Did I miss it? No, there's no TypeScript. What about JavaScript? Nope. All the way at the bottom, can't use it. What about HTML? Okay, there's twice, but nope. All the way at the bottom and can't use it. What about JavaScript? Nope. What about Python? All the way at the bottom, can't use it. What about Java? Nope. All the way at the bottom, can't use it. This stuff down here that people can't even see because my formatting doesn't even go this far down, the technical skill sections need to be in the resume. This is blank. This is a blank page besides Node.js and SQL. That is the only things I got for this, and that is not enough. Is there literally anything else I can find? No. Node.js and SQL, that's it. Maybe MongoDB if they want that, which I found very at the bottom. So your resume is practically blank. Not even counting the authorization to work status. This resume is blank. There is absolutely nothing here besides those three things. So I need you to actually look at the job descriptions under the required sections. I made a guide about this. It's on my website. It's totally free. You should read it because it tells you how to find this. But yeah, there's nothing here. This resume is blank. So let's go to the next software engineer because I have 5 in a row. So yeah, next one I think is not going to be a software engineer. But for this video, all software engineer all the time. This is a resume of, I think, a back-end software Java developer. I'm not sure. They also didn't tell me anything. They just said Java. Actually, they just said software engineer, and I saw, that. So that's all I know. All I know is that they have a 1 in 50. So that's actually not terrible. The ratio is 1 in 50, and my 20-second clip actually works very well on the formatting. I'm actually pretty happy with that. So let's see. What we're looking for in a back-end Java developer, assuming this is that person, is Java, Spring, Spring Boot, SQL, RESTful API, microservices, OOP, Git, other APIs, Maven, cloud, architecting, SDLC, MongoDB, Kafka, full stack, agile, CI/CD, Hibernate, DevOps, and Docker. Those are bonuses. So can I find that in 20 seconds? Probably if you have a 1 in 50, assuming this is a backend Java engineer. Again, please tell me. You need to tell me. I can't review these in a vacuum. The more information you give me, the better. If you give me 5 paragraphs, cool. I would love that. I would prefer more information than less. So let's see if I can't find this in 20 seconds. All right, degree, good. Java, good. API, good. ETL, I don't know as much. Redis, MLs, maybe. AWS, good. AWS, Kafka could be it. CI/CD, I found. And no. The problem is I don't know if this actually is a backend Java engineer. This may be for some kind of AI role. I don't know. And that makes this hard to review. So this is why you need to give me more information. The more specific you are, the better, because this is not what I'd be looking for a pure back-end Java engineer. But maybe you're not applying for a full back-end Java engineer. Maybe you're applying for like an AI engineer, right? Like an AI engineer would require this stuff. Boom, that's going to be different. Maybe you are applying for some kind of Python role. Python backend. Again, we had that before, so I'm going to pull that up again. Maybe it's this. Also, your country depends on what qualifications are asking, because this will be different in a bunch of stuff. So maybe this is closer to a Python role, because I did find a little bit more. I found Python, I found AWS, I found Docker, I found a little bit of AI and LLM, which is good. I found Git. And I think I found CI/CD down here. So this would pass as a Python dev, but it wouldn't as a Java developer. And this is why you need to be specific, because they don't equal always. So if this is a back-end Java role, I think most of what I hear, here is solid. I think there's some extra stuff. Like, I don't really need ETL. I don't really need I don't need the A/B testing. You already mentioned ML here. I don't really need it here. And I don't need Bitbucket. And you already mentioned LLM before. Did you mention? Oh, no, you didn't. That's fine. Yeah, and I don't really need MVCP. Same here. I would need more Python. I would prefer you to say Python. But again, I don't fully know what you are. It's not terrible. I feel like you're very close to getting what you need for either a Python role or maybe... No, it looks like it's sort of a back-end Python role. Or a Java engineer that focuses on AI. I don't know. I feel like this is a 1 in 50. You have about a 1 in 50 ratio, which I think actually is about equal to what this is you have mostly what I want, and you kind of barely pass, but you do pass. But if you focus this better, you will have more of a response rate. So again, 1 in 50 is it takes them about 50 applications to get an interview, which is it's a C-, right? It passes, but barely, but it does pass. Ideally, I want to bring stuff to like 10 to 15, to get a single interview, but you just need to focus a little bit more. But how you wrote this isn't bad. Like I want these are how you would write these sentences, and I think they're very good. You also did not overdo it on too many of the numbers. I don't know if I need this one and this one, but these are okay. So actually cool it a little bit on the numbers, but yeah. So again, C-. I don't know what exactly you're looking for, so I can't give you any more than that, but how you wrote this is solid. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of I don't know. None of these people told me what they actually are. Wait, did they and I didn't read it? No, they just said new grad. Looking to apply for the new grad 2026 job market. I have a return offer from a mid-sized company, but you're targeting big techs. I need to position myself international student. Okay, so I would say take that mid-sized company offer. Everybody wants to work in big tech. Big tech is crazy competitive. Also, to be clear, I'm not a FANG recruiter. I've hired multiple software engineers. I have taught other recruiters how to recruit for software engineers. But again, I have not directly worked for FANG. I worked for Fortune 500 companies, but not FANG. I've worked for big startups, but not FANG. So the first thing is, again, I need to know what you are. This is the biggest issue. No software engineer tells me what you are. If you can do everything, you're not going to get a job. And again, I'm not saying you need to pick a specialization. I'm not saying right now that you graduated, what you need to do is decide the rest of your future, but you at least need to focus your resume on it. You could have 3 resumes, right? One for backend Python, one for full stack, one for front end. All of those resumes need to be different too. But you can't have multiple resumes. So again, I don't know what you are. This is from the last one. You're a software engineer. You didn't tell me. So can I find what you are in 20 seconds? Let's find out. All right. Nope. Listed everything doesn't count. The degree does count. We do want the degree. Full stack. Okay. Java, Spring Boot, and React. Okay. Kubernetes, AWS. Develop Kafka. All right. And then impact features. I don't know what that is. Java, it's a little unfocused. This is a little unfocused. So again, I don't know what you are. I'm assuming maybe full stack because the first one was full stack. So for an example, this is what full stack would look like right here. Java, again, it's okay to have Java. Sometimes you can replace the Python and stuff because right here you need .NET or Python or Java. You don't necessarily need all 3 of them, just one of those. So I'm assuming because that is Spring Boot, that's pretty good for full stack. React is good. Kubernetes could be good. AWS and GCP. So for GCP, you're going to have to say Google Cloud Platform and then in quotation and then in parentheses put GCP. You don't have to do it for AWS. It's just GCP is not as known. AWS is widely known as AWS for some reason. I have no idea why. Then scalable Kafka. I don't know if I'm really looking for that. Helm rollout. SQL, good. RESTful APIs, good. Then you already mentioned this, so I don't care about this. And then I don't care about this. And then this I don't need. So this isn't terrible, all right? I want to be clear. I don't think this is terrible. It's just you don't really have everything I'm looking for here. And then we go down here. Java, Spring Boot. I don't also see JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. If you're applying for full stack, you need JavaScript. If you are applying for that, you also need HTML and CSS. I don't see that anywhere in the resume. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're applying for backend Java. The problem is you did not tell me. I don't know. But there's a lot of extraneous stuff here regardless. This sentence adds nothing. This sentence adds nothing, and then you already mentioned You already mentioned everything here already. Here. So I don't need it. You don't want to repeat the same qualifications in the same job, right? The same job you don't repeat, but you do want to put it down here. So having AWS here and here, good. Having AWS here and here, not good. So it's not bad. I'm missing some stuff to move forward with because, again, I don't know what you are. Maybe you're not full stack. Maybe you're still back-end Java. And again, I don't know. You didn't tell me. This is why you need to tell me. I don't want people to wait like a month and a half for their review and then they don't tell me what they are, so I can't help them. I don't have eidetic, is that the word, knowledge of all this stuff. I have to look it up. It's just, I'm great at my job. I'm not that great that I memorized everything. So Java, good. Spring Boot, yes, is good. React is good, but then RESTful APIs is good, but then I don't see like Maven. I don't see OOP. Do I see Git? GitHub. No, I don't see GitHub. No, I don't see Git. Because remember, this doesn't count. Anything here cannot be used. I cannot use those qualifications. It might as well be blank. It just slows me down. Skill sections don't work. I wish they did. I wish if skill sections worked, and then I could just send them to hiring managers, but the hiring managers don't like skill sections. So, unfortunate. But yeah, that's all I can really find. I don't know what you are. I think how you wrote this is fine. You just need to be focused on what you're actually going for. I think even though you are international, once you focus that, you will be much better. Although, fix your formatting a little bit. So, that's all I can do for this one. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a software engineer intern. Yes, you told me what you are. Weirdly enough, interns, you don't need to tell me if you're full stack front end or back end. I don't know why, but for interns specifically, you don't need to pick. Once you get your first full-time job and you're looking to enter the workforce after an internship, you need to pick a stack. But interns, a software engineer intern is a software engineer intern. You don't need to qualify it unless it's like specifically like an AI software engineer intern, but most part, this is fine. So what we're looking for in an intern is pretty basic. Degree, basic knowledge of tech stack. So again, language, library, SQL, cloud, ability to work well with others, takes direction and criticism. For an intern, that is needed. So what did you state? I have applied to about 200 positions in Canada and the US, tailoring my resume every time, no interview. Yeah, that actually makes sense to me. That makes perfect sense to me. I don't know if I even need to review this. The reason you have gotten no interviews is you tailored your resume every single time. So there are two things that matter in your resume. One, you have the right qualifications. Two, your resume is submitted fast enough. You need both of those. One is not more important than the other. The reason for that is people misunderstand what ATSs do. They think they're this magical scanning device that blah, 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 does all this crazy stuff. What they really are filing cabinets. They sort your resume first come, first serve. So if you are applicant number 187, you may not get seen. That's unfortunately the reality. So you need to apply fast. Now, the faster you apply, the better your chances. But once we see your resume, you still need the stuff. So what you need to do is you don't tailor to every interview, every time. You tailor to the job title. This is why this matters. This is the technique that gets people jobs. I kind of wish this wasn't the fifth resume of this video, but whatever. Is you tailor to the job title you want, not the job itself. As an example, these are all the qualifications I need for a software engineer. That's it. There's not a ton. I just need those basics. For an example, this is why I tell people to pick a stack, is this is what you need to do. Like if I was looking for, say, an AI engineer, this is what you would tailor your resume to. But you don't need to tailor your resume to every job. You just need to tailor it to one job title and then mass apply using that. That way, you can apply early and fast and get seen. Because it doesn't matter how good your resume is, if you're applicant number 182, you may not get seen. Ideally, there's a couple of like buts into this, but If the job has 100 people, you probably won't get seen. Now, saying that, there are exceptions, like I said. So if it's reposted, feel free to apply. Reposted, your chances are better. If it is easy apply, go for it. It takes like 2 seconds. Yeah, you probably won't get the position, but again, it's not going to waste more than under a minute of your time. So those are the things. But otherwise, if a role already has 100 applicants, there's probably another 300 there. And people say, oh, I need to apply within 24 hours or the first X. The time it's been up doesn't matter. How many applicants does. There are roles that only have 30 applicants after 2 weeks, and there are roles that fill up to 500 in the first hour. So it doesn't matter how long it's been up. It matters how many other people have applied. Like I said, except for reposted. Reposteds are different, and you should apply to those. So that is probably your problem. Even if your resume is great, I'm going to assume that's an actual problem of it. So let's see. Maybe your resume isn't great, and that's also the problem. But let's see if I can find what I need for a software engineer intern. Again, very simple what we're looking for. And go. Formatting's a little off. Engagement. Well, I don't care about engagement. AI, UI, this, okay. JavaScript and React is good. Okay, this actually has nothing I would need for an intern. What? Okay, yeah, this, I actually, oh, here's the projects. Yeah, nothing. So, this actually doesn't have what I would need anyway. So, not even just tailoring to every job, you don't have enough. Like, as an example, what I would need is, say, Python, Docker, SQL, GCP. I don't see that. Where is that at all? Python, again, doesn't count if it's up there. Python instructor, again, you have to show me how you used it. You can't just say Python instructor. There it is. I missed this because there's so much. Okay, this doesn't count, so don't put it here. You need to put it here. This actually did here, and I missed it because you filled this with junk. I'm not looking for 40% or 35% or 10 device types. Please stop putting this. No one's asking for this. I don't know why everybody keeps putting these percentages in. I don't care about any of that. I care about Python, Docker, SQL, and GCP. Taught programming to over 80 students. Again, I'm not looking for taught. I'm looking for followed. As an intern, your job is to be a follower. Every intern puts leadership experience, and I'm like, your job is not being a leader. Your job is to follow instructions, be wrong, and then correct those and not freak out. And that's the basic gist of what a intern is you know the basics. Your job is to be wrong, which is good because that's where you're learning. It's a learning thing. That's why you're an intern. So you're going to get told, hey, this is wrong. And then you have to tell them why you can do that without freaking out. And I don't see that. This resume has, again, this is almost blank. The RESTful APIs is good. The SQL is good. The Python is good. And the JavaScript is good. But I don't see how you took direction and criticism, and I don't see how you can work well with others. Again, I'm not looking for teaching. I'm looking for being taught. That's the difference. And I've gotten a lot of internships through this method. So again, I do know what I'm talking about. I understand I seem like a fool, but yeah, that's the person reading your resume is a fool. I'm sorry, we are not as technical. Have I recruited for software engineers for most of my recruitment career? Yeah. Can I tell the difference between Java and Python if you put them in front of me? No, I could not. I have no idea the difference between the two. I could not, but I know how to get you hired. So you need to simplify this. You need to fix the formatting. You need to stop changing this for every single one because that is also hurting your chances. And you need to put in what we actually want, which is this stuff. So again, it doesn't have to be Java and Docker. It could be or Python to Docker. It could be Java and Spring or whatever, but it's this. This is all you really need. So that's all I can do for this video. The next video will not be all software engineers. I just saw all of them here, and I'm like, well, entire software engineer video. But if you ever need more help, you can join me on my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlesshunter. That's where I help people get ahead of the job market, and I give you tips on like interviews and that kind of stuff. And it's a lot more collaborative than I can actually do through YouTube. But please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm here to get you ahead of your job search.